Hello parents. So today I'll be talking about an important topic, that is how to establish feeding in a newborn baby. So this talk will be applicable to pregnant mothers who are about to deliver their babies, and also to new mothers who have just become mothers, so that in the first few weeks of life they can establish feeding of their newborns properly. Now, why is it important to establish the feeds properly? Because if the feeding doesn't go properly, then the baby can suffer several problems. The first important problem is a poor weight gain. The second important problem is an elevated jaundice, which would unnecessarily require a readmission. The third important problem that it can cause damage to the kidneys too. So here, by feeding, what I basically mean is breastfeeding. Now you will be getting to know that the breastfeeding data is very bad in our country, to the tune of that just 1 in 5 mothers are able to exclusively breastfeed their babies for the first 6 months of life, and the clinch of this lies in the first few days after birth, in fact even before the delivery happens. So as mothers, you must be prepared, you must know, and you must have the required help to establish exclusive breastfeeding for your babies. There are several factors which hamper this establishment. The first important factor being lack of knowledge. So while pregnancy, if you don't have the knowledge as to what is going to happen with your body immediately after delivery, how does milk comes, at what amount it comes, how do babies suck, at what frequencies they suck. So if you don't have this knowledge, you will be just out of blue in nowhere, that you don't know what is to be done. The second important thing is that in the immediate postpartum period or after delivery, mothers experience their own complications, be it through the cesarean delivery, wounds, be it through the vaginal deliveries, their pain, their diet, and so many things. So that hampers. The third important thing is that a lot of promotion happens on formula feeds, as a result of which you are not able to establish breastfeeding for your newborn babies. Exclusively breastfed babies have 3 or 4 so many advantages over otherwise formula fed babies. The first important is that they have lesser amount of infections in the first 2 years of life, be it diarrheas, be it ear infections, be it long-term allergies are less, obesity is less in these babies, and for the mother also it improves their health. So there are a lot of benefits for the breastfed babies. So you must know how you can establish a proper breastfeeding for your newborn baby. So in the antenatal period or during pregnancy only, you must read books as to how you can establish breastfeeding. The most important thing is that you must have a good diet, you must have good amount of water, so that your baby grows well. You must stay good, you must feel good, you must speak to your partner, you must speak to your family so that you feel good, so that in short you enjoy your pregnancy. So once you enjoy your pregnancy, you have a good support system. That support system now helps you in the immediate postpartum period. The first and foremost thing which you must ensure while giving birth of a baby is that while you choose your hospital, choose a baby-friendly hospital. Now, what is baby-friendly hospital? Baby-friendly hospitals are hospitals which are dedicated to ensure establishment of exclusive breastfeeding in the postpartum period. There are several things which we do as a part of this baby-friendly hospital initiative. The first and foremost thing is that you start your skin-to-skin contact from the delivery table itself, be it a vaginal delivery, be it a cesarean section. So the skin-to-skin contact must start immediately after the delivery if your baby is stable. The second thing is initiation of breastfeeding within the first hour of life. That means to ensure this to happen, the foremost important thing is the concept of rooming in. That means the baby should be staying with you, so that you get ample opportunities to ensure that the contact of breastfeeding comes, rather than staying in some other place like nursery or so that the contact time decreases. The third important thing is frequent feeding, because in the first few days of life, your babies are only going to get very frequently, suckle a little bit. Similarly, you must also know that during this period, a little bit of colostrum is only going to come. So that's the amount of feed which is you are providing, and so the babies are going to feed very frequently. So you must attempt to suckle your baby at each and every attempt whenever the baby is awake. fourth important thing is that knowledge of the health staff is very important, so that they promote breastfeeding to you, and so must you also be aware that you must take this attempt, you must use this opportunity, you must alleviate your pain. You will be in pain, no doubt, but you must take this opportunity to establish your breastfeeding, because if it is not established in the first few days of life, the chances are very less that it is going to be established thereafter. Taking care of your health, very important. You must take adequate fluids. You must take at least 3 to 4 liters per day of fluids. In summers, you may have to take even more. Take your appropriate analgesics or pain medicines, because you may be feeling pain. So take them accordingly and discuss it with your gynecologist so that you are not in pain. Rest properly, it is very important, since as I told that babies will be getting up very frequently. So you need to sleep with your baby, you need to get up with your baby. They'll be sleeping throughout the day, they'll be getting up awake more in the night. So you need to take rest during the daytime so that you can stay awake at the night time when they will be more awake. So rest is very important, because rest gives your breasts ample time to produce the milk. The next important thing is appropriate techniques of feeding. The most important thing of which is latching. That means the technique into which your baby holds to your breast, in which not only the nipple but the surrounding black part of the areola, the entire amount should go inside the breast, inside the mouth of the baby. Otherwise the suckling won't be effective. For that you must have a good holding posture. For that you must have a good relaxing posture. So relax properly, then take your baby, hold your baby properly, turn towards yourself so that the latching is proper, and once your latching is proper, then you will be able to feel the suck. Then your body will start producing hormones which ultimately lead to ejection of the milk, ultimately lead to production of the milk. Myths exist everywhere, so a lot of myths exist in our culture also. Important thing is, do not restrict your diet. Whatever type of diet you are having during pregnancy, whatever level of spices you are having during pregnancy, you can have, not a problem. Important thing is to have a balanced and nutritious diet. If in consult, you can discuss it with your dietitian. The next important thing is that to ensure that the baby is getting feeds properly, because it is not necessary that although you will be keeping on trying for exclusive breastfeeding, it might happen that because of your illness, because of several factors, you may have a flat nipple, you may have an inverted nipple, which you need to consult with your gynecologist or your nursery sister, which can be rectified thereafter. But still, having said that, still it may have conditions that either you are producing milk your baby is not able to take. In that case, you will feel heaviness and milk will be leaking. In that case, pump out your milk, use a spoon katori or a chinook to provide that milk to the baby. Do not use bottles for feeding, because if bottles are introduced, it is almost written at that point of time that you won't be able to establish your breastfeeding. The second case may occur very often, that your milk has not yet picked up, your milk is not being produced at a rate or at an amount in which your baby is requiring. In that case, you will have a deficit, in which case you need to tide over this situation. There are two ways to tide over this situation. The first way is that, as I said in the earlier part, that your babies are going to sleep more during the daytime and wake more during the night time. So what happens? During night time, as they are feeding very frequently, so the time your breast has in between to make milk is less, so your milk production comes down, so the requirement is more than the production. But during daytime, when your babies are sleeping more, you may feel heaviness in your breast, you may have leaking of your breast. So in that case, pump out that milk. Collect in clean sterile bottles. You can store it in fridge even for up to 4 days. Just ensure that is in the lower shelves of the fridge. The fridges are not opened very frequently so that your temperature is maintained. While giving, again, give it in a spoon katori or chinook. Warm it a little bit to bring it to a lukewarm. You can place it in a hot water bath and then provide to your baby. The second scenario, where you don't have milk, your baby is crying, you don't have stored milk, then you may have to use formula. Use formulas, but ensure that you don't use a bottle, because eventually what will happen, that if you use a bottle, you won't be able to establish breastfeeds, because babies have nipple confusion, because in a bottle they don't have to suck much as compared to your breast, so they will not take your breast anymore. You may have to use formulas even for a week or two to tide over this situation. Ensure the techniques as I told previously so that your breast milk increases, and thereafter ensure that no bottle is introduced so that you have a better success to ensure your breastfeeding. Now, very important, the point which I am stressing is the support system. Every person around the mother has to be supportive. Husband has to be supportive for taking care of the baby, because mother may be sleeping at night, baby needs to be held in arms. That is important. Grandparents, they have to ensure that the mother's health is okay, mother's rest is happening, mother's diet is okay. Society has a role to ensure that everyone promotes breastfeeding and does not promote formula feeding. Hospitals have a role to maintain the baby friendly hospital initiative, as I told. The community, the government has a role to ensure that formulas are not being promoted, the concept of breastfeeding is being promoted. So in short, I will say that a lot of things has to be done to ensure your baby has a good experience and continues with exclusive breastfeeding. Thank you.